Alright, so I've seen like no good tutorials for this, so I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to show you how to do separate compilation in C. So let's get VS Codium up in here. This is incredibly easy to do. I don't know why no one does this, or at least no one's like done a really like full in-depth tutorial on it, because it's really not that hard. Let's make a new folder. We're going to call it example. Set it here. Alright. So the first thing we need to do is we're going to make a main file. Call it main.c. Ah, dang it. In here we're going to do int main return 0, and we're going to printf the result of a function we're going to make, and that's going to be it. I cannot type today. We're going to call it add. We're going to add these these two variables. So we're going to go up in here, include the standard library. Then you want to include, we're going to call it foo.h. Now we're going to make two files here. We need foo.h and foo.c. Foo.c is going to be the actual implementation. We need to make a extern int. We're going to call it add int x, int y. We don't want to. We use the header file to define it, because that will basically just tell the linker, hey, this is a thing, and you don't have the code for it yet, but we're going to in the future. And the linker is going to be like, okay, I'll trust you on this. So then our C file, we're going to add in int x, int y. You want to make sure both the type and the values are the exact same. And then of course we're going to return x plus y. Now we're not going to include the C file. Instead, what we're going to do, we're going to make a make file. And in here, we're going to have two things. We're going to say that this requires a main.o and a foo.o. The rules for those, we'll do this first. We'll do clang std equals c99, because that's the only good one. Main.o foo.o dash c. Actually, no, we don't need that for this one. O2, and that should be it. Oh yeah, and then output, we'll call it awesome dot x8664. Now we have to make the two rules for this. So main.o will be clang std equals c99 main.c dash o main.o. Now we also want to make sure we put in a dash c parameter, which basically says, hey, do not start linker processes yet. Don't leak anything yet. Dang it. I would do the same thing for foo. And then in foo.c, we also need to include foo.h. Now, what errors are we going to get when we run this thing? Why am I stupid? Make. Missing separator. What? Okay, what did we do? Oh, we need the colon. Dash std, I see. This should work. Yep, and then if we run awesome. Wow. Wow, we just did separate compilation. What if we try it again? It's just gonna run it, because that's what we did. We'll actually do it like this. Yeah, that's all we do. In fact, we can actually make this a little cleaner. Just do clear first. There you go. So now what do we do at this point? Let's make another thing, and we're gonna call it extern int sub for subtract. Int x, int y. And we're going to just do the same thing here. it's going to be subtraction. So 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. So what's it going to return? Why did it do the same thing? Well, it's because we have the object files here, and now that we have the object files, we don't have to recompile anything that doesn't need to be recompiled. So in this case, we can remove everything that's an object file, since we want to recompile both main and foo. But, for example, in a larger program, if you only modify one C file, you only have to recompile that C file. However, if you recompile anything that depends on a header, you have to recompile. If you modify a header and suddenly depends on that, you need to recompile everything that depends on the header. But now if we do this, yep, we get 0. That's it. That's all separate compilation is. There you go.